Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Touch Grass, the podcast where we remind ourselves that the best way to escape the chaos is just to step outside. I'm your host, Wijdan Jamari, and today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Essentially, the way comparison fuels overconsumption. Because let's be real, right? Half the time, we don't even know why we want something until we see someone else with it, right? It's 2025 and we are in a consumption spiral, whether it's fashion, tech, skincare, travel, or even lifestyle habits. We are constantly being fed this idea that we need more. And at the root of it all is comparison. Social media has made it so easy to feel like we're behind, like we need to keep up. And how do we catch up? By buying things, by consuming, by adding more to our lives in the hopes that we'll feel like we're enough. And so this is something that I actually wanted to, how last week we were talking about the yeah, but people? This week we're going to be talking about the if I just had that mentality, right? We're familiar with it. We all know what that feels like. We all have that one thing that we've convinced ourselves would change everything. Like if I just had that outfit, I'd be more confident. Or if I just had that skincare, I would have amazing skin. And what happens? We go out and we buy it, and for a second, we feel like we're winning. But then the feeling fades, and suddenly there's a new thing to chase. So it's this constant cycle of consumption that you're in, right? And it just becomes more and more normalized because you are creating a habit out of it, right? If I just had that, if I just had that, right? If I just had whatever it might be. And the one thing that I learned on my spiritual journey and also on my physical journey was that you cannot wait for that moment to happen in order to be happy or to feel accomplished or to feel fulfilled. And because the physical item, right, is there, it's almost like it's something tangible that we can look at and we can be like, you know what, I want to acquire this. Once I have this, it's going to be mine. I can see it every day. I can look at it. It's going to be there, right? But the emotional toll that it takes on you to associate your happiness with that one physical thing means that there's deeper work that needs to be done. Like you need to look at yourself internally and be like, actually, what is going to make me feel more confident? Should I be drinking more water? Am I drinking more water? And that's when all of these questions kind of start to come in play. But we don't have the time for it because we're constantly on social media. Looking at like social media has turned our lives into a never-ending shopping catalog. And like as a marketer, I can tell you this for free, that is every brand strategy for like probably from now for the next 30 years because it's easier to pay even just an average person, right? It's easier to pay them for a campaign because why? They are closer to their community than a huge influencer, right? So this is just some like industry intel. This is to make you aware of the world because us as marketers, we see the world through a whole different lens. Like we see the world for what it is because it's so easy to fool people. It's so easy to make them feel like they need something that they don't in fact need. We're not saving lives. We're actually just like we're enabling people and their bad habits, which, it's like, I'm kind of getting into a little bit of an existential crisis here, but okay, we'll deal with that later. I'll go and touch some grass and I'll go and deal with that. Social media has essentially turned our lives into a never-ending shopping catalog. We're not just looking at our friends anymore. We're comparing ourselves to influencers, celebrities, and random strangers who seem to have it all together. And we think, oh, they have it. Maybe I need it too. You know, that is influencer culture. If anything, with TikTok, it's only become more accessible to consumers. So just be very mindful of the if I just had that mentality, right? It's very easy to fall into that trap. More isn't more, it's just more. But here's the thing, more isn't always better. More isn't always happiness. Sometimes more is just more clutter, more debt, more stress, more pressure to keep up. And the worst part is that we're not even consuming for ourselves anymore. We're consuming to impress, to feel relevant, or to fill a gap that comparison created in the first place. And so that's the link between comparison. This is what I'm talking about, is finding that, like, where is this actually coming from? You know, is it because I genuinely want to feel more confident, or is it because I see that that person is feeling more confident in that outfit? Or do I see that she has the same body type as me? So now I need to get that outfit in order for me to wear it the same way that she does. But do you ever really? Sometimes it just sits in our cupboard, you know? So more isn't more, it's just more, you know? So yeah, I've also caught myself in the cycle so many times, and it really just took some deep sitting down with myself and breaking away from the noise and being like, actually, where is this rooted in? Am I feeling like I need to have that thing in order to feel more fulfilled or accomplished? Or am I feeling like I need to reach that milestone simply because, like, I know that this is what's going to get me to my next milestone? So there's physicality, and then there's like your emotional state. And I think when you play from a place of your emotional state, you are so completely aligned with your intuitive being that you know that certain things are just not for you. You know what? I don't even need, like, I don't even like Garnier. Sorry. I know that's a name drop. I'm just making an example, guys. I don't even like Garnier. Why am I even buying this product? It doesn't even work for me, you know? So you stop. That's it. It's that simple. And I've caught myself in the cycle so many times, guys, seeing someone post about it, about a trip, and suddenly feeling like I need a vacation, watching a morning routine vlog and convincing myself that I need a whole new wellness setup. We think we're making choices, but a lot of the time we're just reacting to what we see and reacting to what we think we lack. So, how do we break this cycle? This is where we get into the space where we're essentially learning to break the cycle. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm here to trigger you first, and then I'm here to help you kind of like navigate your way through it. So, how do we stop? How do we break free from this loop of comparing and consuming? First, we have to pause, literally. Before buying something, ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or do I just want to feel like I belong? Because most of the time, we're not even buying for ourselves, we're buying for an imagined version of us that exists in other people's eyes, right? Secondly, start embracing enough. And I know that sounds so basic, but it's actually hard in a world in a world that keeps telling you that you need more. What if what you have is already enough? What if you don't need a closet full of new clothes, a perfectly aesthetic morning routine, or the latest tech to be valuable? You know, like, what if you just got into the space of, like, you know what, Alhamdulillah, I have this. Or you know what? I've always wanted to turn that shirt into something else. Maybe I can see if I can, style it a different way. Maybe I can take what I currently have and create a capsule wardrobe. Then I can see what's missing. And then I can go out and I can buy the things that I'm missing. And in that way, I can play around with the clothes that I already have. So then in that way, you're not over consuming, or you're not just purchasing for the sake of purchasing or purchasing for somebody else. You are looking at what you currently have, and that goes physically, like I said, and emotionally, like, what if I just take what I currently have and then essentially accentuate it, make it feel more special, make it feel like romanticize your life, man. Just get into that space of romanticizing your life, because I promise you, when you do that, your life will become romantic. Your life will become something that you enjoy living. You enjoy living, not like helping other people see that you're living a good life. Like, you enjoy living your life because that's the purpose. At the end of the day, just get to a space where you enjoy living your life, and it doesn't take a certain amount of money. I can tell you this for free. It doesn't take a certain amount of money. It doesn't take a certain standard of lifestyle. It doesn't take a certain environment. It really doesn't, because you know what? The minute my mom and I started saying, like, you know what? Our life is beautiful. And we told ourselves that every single day, little bits here and there. And this is where like talking about the milestones. Like, am I reaching those milestones? Because then I started saying, you know what? This happened today. And this was such an incredible moment for me, no matter how small it was, no matter how big it was. For me, I felt like I felt accomplished. I felt like I did this today and this happened for me today because I constantly kept telling myself that, like, I live a beautiful life. I, live in beautiful spaces. I enjoy beautiful things. And beauty for people, just like success, means different things. So it's essentially just finding your meaning of beauty and your meaning of success and your meaning of fulfillment. Because for me, success is being able to wake up on my body clock every morning. Success is being able to sit down with my family for breakfast every morning. Success is being able to like sit and, enjoy time with my child every day. So success could mean very different things to very different people. So really the purpose of this episode is to stop comparing and essentially to find your meaning of what success is, what beauty looks like to you, what you feel. Some of us like cottage core, bruh. I'm a cottage core girly. I like me like a porcelain sink, and I'll be happy for the rest of my days. That's in physicality. But for me, it's just being surrounded by nature. That's what I love about cottage core places. It's just being surrounded by greenery. You live a slow paced lifestyle. You do things on your body clock when you feel like doing it. You do whatever you want. If you feel like making cheese today, you're going to make cheese. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, find the beauty, find your meaning of beauty, find your meaning of success, find your meaning of accomplishment and fulfillment, because I promise you, starting from that basis will essentially help you curate it, right? You'll start to curate your life according to that and taking the small wins, because I promise you that is going to cost. I mean, that is going to fulfill you more than any skincare that you're going to buy at ARC or whatever the case may be. It's going to fulfill you more than any piece of clothing that you're going to buy. It's going to fill you with so much more confidence than any piece of clothing that you're going to buy, because you're living for you. You are curating your life according to you and your meaning of it. So this is where we break away from the comparison. Stop comparing. Stop thinking that if I had that, if I just had that, if I just had that, because you'll never stop. You'll constantly be chasing that if I just had that. Like, and that's the one thing I told my, like, a lot of people is that I'm not waiting to reach the mountaintop in order to be happy. Every step of the way, I'm going to be happy because I'm not chasing anything. Whatever I want is currently in my reality, and whatever I'm going to get is just going to be an added bonus, right? And so that's when you get out of the if I just had that mentality, because it doesn't take a certain something in order for you to be happy. It doesn't take an end of month paycheck in order for you to be happy. And finally, you know what I'm about to say. Just go and touch some grass. Like, go and touch grass. I mean it. Step away from the screens, away from the ads. And I'm telling you this as somebody who has worked in digital marketing, who knows the algorithm back to front of each and every platform. Away from the scrolling and reconnect with the reality, because when you're outside, surrounded by real life, real conversations, and real experiences that fuel who you are, you start to realize that the thing that actually matters is they don't come in shopping carts. They don't come in, it's arriving on Monday. You're constantly just waiting for Takealot to like bring a box on Monday. Guys, this is not it. This is not the life that we were meant to lead. Our ancestors used to touch grass, and they felt like they were the most like accomplished people in the world. It was so simple back then. Um, yeah, so that's it. That's why I just wanted to bring your awareness to the link between comparison and overconsumption, because it is real and it's exhausting, and we don't have to stay stuck in it. We can choose to step away. Redefine what enough looks like for you, and stop chasing a version of success that isn't even ours to begin with. I hope this episode gave you something to think about. If it did, let me know in the comments. As usual, I love to connect with you. I love to hear your epiphanies. I love to hear your stories. And if you feel like you need a reset, take this as your sign to go outside, breathe, and remember, you are enough. Go and touch some grass, guys. Have a wonderful day further.